Hey y'all, hi. Ooh, I had fun planning this one. The one key styling mistake that is ruining your outfits. First things first, you are fine. You're not ruining your outfits. Honestly, what you do is outshine your outfits all the time. People are looking at your face, so don't stress. The best thing you can do for your outfit is to wear it confidently as you move through the world. Wear it instead of letting it wear you, and then none of these little things will matter. That said, I am a detail-oriented, silhouette-sensitive bee, and I know a lot about a lot of little tweaks that can help an outfit soar instead of not soaring. And that's what I'm going to share with you today, as long as you promise to hold it lightly. So let's all hold it all lightly. If you're here for the first time, check out the link to my book in the description box down below and, consider subscribing. And now let's get into the meat of the video. First, a word from our video sponsor, Ritual, the only prenatal vitamin that didn't make me feel sick and the only postnatal that I even considered. I have been taking Ritual supplements myself, totally unrelated to this sponsorship, for 2 years now, daily for over 2 years at this point. I'm such a devotee of this brand for so many reasons. My feeling is this: remembering to take your vitamins is hard. And for me, historically, even when I have remembered to take them, I sometimes have this totally nonsensical self-sabotage voice inside that just resists self-care and health for no reason and just wants to skip. But that does not happen to me with Ritual. These, observe my almost empty bottle, these are an absolute pleasure to take. They are so beautifully designed. They're like little pieces of stained glass. I love them. It honestly feels like a luxury to take them. It's like high-end skincare or something. They are very lightly coated with peppermint oil, so they smell like a candy cane. They make a lemon version too, in case you don't like mint, but I love these. And during my pregnancy and postpartum, even when my sense of smell has been at its most acute and my stomach at its most sensitive, I have actually enjoyed taking my vitamins. I went on a long search for prenatal vitamins specifically, and I ended up with Ritual, partly because they're so easy on my stomach, but also because all of the ingredients are traceable, they're non-GMO, they're gluten-free and major allergen-free, they have high sustainability standards, they're third-party tested for heavy metals and microbes, etc., etc. I was so glad when I found Ritual when I was pregnant, and it was a no-brainer for me to continue on with the essential postnatal vitamins during this wildly nutritionally demanding postpartum breastfeeding phase, which, my friends, I am still within. And did you know, side note, this is tangentially only related to vitamins, did you know that the caloric needs of a breastfeeding parent are higher than the caloric needs of a pregnant person, even during the third trimester? Nobody ever talks about this. Anyway, I trust Ritual. I love taking the vitamins. I'm so glad there's a company out there that's making these genuinely beautiful, special feeling supplements that are so well designed on every level. That's what I need, and I appreciate everything about them. And you can do a subscription with Ritual, so you don't have to remember to reorder if that's something with which you struggle. So check the description box below this video for a link that will give you 25% off your first order at ritual.com. And thank you so much to Ritual for sponsoring a portion of this video. So the mistake you might be making with your outfits, which is theoretically easily remedied, is this: failing to consider the transitions between the parts of an outfit. The borders, the boundaries, the edges, the relationships between one garment and another. There are always places on an outfit where one garment transitions to another or a garment transitions to bare skin. Most outfits have both. Some outfits have more of these boundaries and relationships, like if you're wearing a sweater over a shirt with a pair of pants with socks and shoes, all of those things relate to each other at their edges. If you're just wearing a simple dress with a pair of sandals, there are fewer of those lines, but the dress is still relating to your skin at every one of its hems and edges, and the hem of the dress is still in relation to the shoes. So you might not be thinking about styling your outfits in terms of these relationships, in terms of these boundaries and the transitions between areas of your outfit. And if you're not, how can you start to apply this idea? I have it organized kind of like a flow chart. So you can start with step 1, and if that's not working for you, move on to step 2. And then if that's not working, then step 3. It's a pretty linear, straightforward, and simple flow chart. But still, you don't have to go through all 3 steps in order for this to work for you. Kind of just go one at a time and see if it gets you there. So step one, which might be the only step you need, when you're getting dressed, look in the mirror and assess all of these transition points on your outfit. Check the borders between areas of your outfit and use your own eye. Use your best judgment. Step one, look in the mirror and look at yourself and think about whether it looks good. Pearls of wisdom. Aren't you glad you're watching this video? The thing that's hard about giving styling advice from a platform like this is that among you, there are so many different aesthetic preferences, body types, color palettes, etc. So what I need to do in order to be helpful to you is to do my best not to proscribe rules for you to follow, but to give you a tool, a way of thinking that you can take and apply to your own aesthetics, your own wardrobe, your own body, your own style. So this is the most broadly applicable advice in this context. Look at this aspect of what you're wearing and ask yourself, is there something about the way these clothes meet each other and relate to each other that isn't working? Is it an issue with the way one garment flows into another? Is it an issue with the placement of the hemline, the neckline, the waistband, the sock line? Just looking at it through this lens, you might organically discover the tweaks you need to make. You might discover those little tweaks easily and solve it if you're having an issue with your outfit, solve it all on your own from there. It might be as simple as that. But if it's not, if you need more hand-holding from there, or you just need to follow a couple more steps before you feel like you have tried everything that you can try, then let me introduce you to step 2, which is maybe my favorite step. Fussing. Step 2 is fussing. Fuss with the edges. And there are 2 types of fussing. So we have step 2, segment A, and step 2, segment B. 2A is fussing with the boundaries between garments, where one garment touches another. Famously, right, the most notorious boundary in an outfit, and maybe the most difficult one, is the line between the top and the pants, right? The way the top half of your outfit relates to the bottom half. And I think that there are a lot of people out there walking around with this never working because they're not thinking about the line on the body that is created by the relationship with the top and the pants and all of the various ways that you can kind of manipulate and handle that line. They're not even trying to see what could be done there. They're just putting on the clothes and leaving it the way that it is. So with this transition in particular, you can try untucking the top altogether and letting it flow free. You can try partially tucking it in, just tucking the center of the front of the top, just one side or the other, some version of the French tuck. You can try fully tucking your top in all the way around. You can try belting if you don't have a belt on. You can try removing your belt. Sometimes removing the belt is the secret to making it work. Try tying the hemline of the shirt in some kind of knot. All of these are ways of manipulating the boundary between the shirt that you're wearing and the bottom half of your outfit. But I can't tell you the one way to make it good because it totally depends on your clothes, on your body. So play with it. Play with this line on any given day and see what you can make of it. Other areas of frequent interest are the transition between the hemline and the shoe, which is often bridged by a sock. So the sock that you're wearing or the way that you're styling your sock, like pulling it all the way up, bunching it down, can make a huge difference with the way that your entire leg looks, basically. Because you're changing the line, right? You're changing the line between the shoe, the sock, and the pant. Moving it up and down, making that area kind of thinner and thicker depending on how the sock is styled. I have a calf-length skirt, a skirt that comes just below my knees, that I will only style with a knee-high boot that comes up higher than the hem of the skirt so that those 2 areas touch. When I wear that skirt, anything else looks awkward on me with my aesthetic, with the rest of the clothes that I wear, with my general vibe and my body type. Those boots are what make it work, but that's absolutely not true for everyone. A lot of people with that same exact length of skirt could wear any manner of shoe, all sorts of socks, and it will totally work. So moving these lines around, changing the way that one garment relates to another and the location of the boundary between those garments all over your body, it's going to be specific to you and it can make a dramatic difference. Step 2B, the second type of fussing with the boundary between your garments and your skin. skin. I think that didn't I already say something was my favorite? I think that this is my favorite one. This is my favorite part. Oh, I said fussing was my favorite. So specifically, this is my favorite type of fussing. Very often, revealing more or less skin is the secret to balancing an outfit. And this has to do with the place where a piece of clothing ends and your skin begins. And you can move that line. You can move that boundary all over your body in a variety of ways. So we fuss with this element by unbuttoning an extra button, maybe 2 extra buttons, maybe 3 extra buttons. Or if you're wearing a button-down shirt, you can button it all the way up and even button that teeny tiny button at the collar that most people don't usually button, especially if you're needing to look and feel a little bit more stylized. Sometimes that is the key, especially if you're showing a little more skin elsewhere in your outfit. So, button that little button all the way up at the top, button the shirt all the way up, but roll up the sleeves. So you're revealing a lot of skin on your arms, but not here. Or the opposite, roll the sleeves down and then unbutton all the way down like to your breastbone. You know what I mean? So you're really giving a lot of décolletage, but not even a hint of wrist. The same with cardigans. If you have a cardigan and you usually just wear it as a layering piece unbuttoned, try wearing it on its own as a top buttoned all the way up. You can get a lot of mileage out of rolling sleeves, as I just mentioned, and cuffs, the cuffs on your pants up and down to change the lines, to change the overall real estate, like amount of real estate that your clothes take up on your body. Like moving the slider of amount of skin showing versus amount of cloth showing, moving that slider back and forth by rolling cuffs up and down. And even if it's winter and you're wearing socks, like wearing trouser socks, try rolling your cuffs up past your ankle to show a little more sock. Show a little sock and see what that does. Before I mentioned knotting a shirt, like tying the front tails of a shirt, I like to unbutton like the bottom 2 or 3 buttons and then tie it together in a knot at the waist. That changes the way that the top and the pants relate to each other, but it also changes the boundary between cloth and skin because it shows a little bit of skin often right around the midsection of your body. So fussing, step 2, fussing with the boundaries between garments and the boundaries between garment and skin with any given garment that you're wearing. That step will often get you where you need to go with your outfit. But if it's not, if you've tried everything and it's still not singing, then move on to step 3. Step 3, though, is where most people start when an outfit isn't working. Most people start with what I am saying should be your last resort, which is to take off a piece of clothing and switch it out for something else. So when you're looking at your styling, your clothing through the lens of these questions about borders and boundaries, when you first look in the mirror with your outfit on and it's not working, instead of saying, oh, the problem is that this top doesn't work with these pants, what you're saying is the problem is the line between this top and these pants. But there are a lot of ways to move that line before you resort to switching the top out for a different top. So we've gone through all of those ways, which are less stressful and easier than tearing it off and be like, wow, it doesn't work, and then putting something else and be like, oh, it doesn't work either, blah, 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 you know. But also, if you get to this point, if you get to the point where you realize you do need to switch out a garment for another one, you know why you're doing it. And you're doing it to change that line or one of those lines, change that relationship. So you can do it more intelligently. You can do it with more awareness of what your goal is. So if you have a shirt on and you also have some pants on, and the silhouette of the pants comes all the way up to your belly button, and the shirt that you're wearing just like hangs down too low and sort of ruins the silhouette of the pants, you know when you switch that shirt out for something else that what you're trying to do is to move the line that is the transition between the pants and the shirt. It's too low. You're trying to move it up. So you're switching it out for a shirt that has a different silhouette that's going to change the relationship between the top and the bottom half of your outfit. If you're not thinking about that seam, that line, that boundary, then you just take it off and you put on a different shirt just to see if it'll be better. And if it has the same silhouette, if it's the same length, or even if it's a different silhouette, but it's not what you need with those pants, then it's like, oh, this one doesn't look better either and I don't know why. And you tear it off and you put on another one. This one doesn't work either and I don't know why. And then you're frustrated and you're sweaty and you're running late late and it's no good at all. So this is a way of elaborating on the idea that two pieces of clothing, when you have them on, don't look good together, aren't working together. If you can't figure out why a top doesn't seem to look good with a pair of pants, consider that it's probably about that line, about that relationship. And if that's not a relationship that's alterable by fussing, as we discussed in step 1 and step 2, then you know that you might need to switch out one of the garments, and you know that you need to switch it out for something specifically with a different silhouette so that it will relate differently to the other garment. This often comes to bear with shoes. The top of your shoe always relates in some way to the hem of the garment that you're wearing on the bottom half of your body. Is that hem close to your shoes or is it far away? Do they touch? Do they overlap? If something's not working down there, it is very likely about that relationship. And you might need to change your shoes, or you might need to change the bottom half of your outfit if the shoes that you've chosen are shoes that you have to wear that day for some reason. So if it's rainy and you have to wear your rubber rain boots, for example, slacks are not going to work probably with those. Slacks are meant to have kind of a long swinging line down the body. They're meant to fall full length. If you have to tuck them into rubber rain boots like that, they billow, it looks awkward. It definitely looks like it's cobbled together and that something went wrong in the planning stages. The pants completely lose their reason for being what they are, right? You lose the line, you lose the lines of your body, you end up looking and feeling awkward. So on that rainy day, you might switch to a more fitted pant. You might switch to like a legging and tunic situation, knee-high socks with culottes or a dress. And that's a directive that's coming from needing to solve for the boundary between the tops of your boots and the bottom edge, the bottom hem of the garment that you're wearing on the bottom half of your body. You might also switch out pieces to show more or less skin. If you're in the fussing phase and you're fussing in a way where you're trying to change the amount of skin that you're showing, sometimes you need to switch out a garment. Like I was saying, if you have a cardigan that you're wearing over something and you want to try wearing the cardigan just as a top, then you're taking off your tank top or whatever you're wearing underneath it. If you have something sheer or semi-sheer that you usually wear with a layering piece underneath, you try taking the layering piece off and just wearing it with your undergarment showing. That's what I'm doing today. If you have a V-neck sweater that you usually layer over a t-shirt, you could try wearing it without anything and showing a little more skin without anything underneath. If you have a sweater vest that you usually wear as a top, you could try wearing it over a long sleeve shirt, for example, or over a collared shirt. So sometimes switching out layering pieces in order to show more or less skin can create a kind of balance. So this has been an overview, right? A way of thinking through the process of styling yourself while keeping this all-important principle front of mind. So first, step back, take a look at the edges and boundaries of your outfit and use your best judgment. Then try fussing with the relationships between garments and fussing with the amount of skin that you're showing or the amount of sock that you're showing. And lastly, experiment with switching something out for a different item of clothing in order to reveal a different manifestation of the silhouette of the other garment or garments that you're wearing, that you're already wearing. Because this is the thing, each garment has its own silhouette, but that silhouette changes subtly in relation to the other clothes that you wear. So switching pieces out, it's a way of giving the other clothes you're wearing a chance to subtly change and potentially work better for you on any given day. In a future video, I could go into more specifics about this, like exact tweaks that one might make and what might result from those more than what I've indicated in this video. But I think that this is enough to be getting on with. I think you can figure out a lot on your own by experimenting for the time being, especially if you kind of mess with your outfits at night before you go to bed when the stakes are really low because all you're going to do is just take the clothes off and put on your pajamas and go to sleep. The worst time to be trying to tweak and mess with and fuss with and balance an outfit is right before you're about to walk out the door in that exact outfit. That's like my hot take and hidden jewel of this video. When I travel, I style all of my outfits at home. I literally put the entire outfit on, everything I'm going to wear on the trip. Each outfit, I'll take like the whole evening and I'll put the entire outfit on, style the entire thing pretty much, and then take it off and pack it in the suitcase and go. A little trial run, because I have to go through the first couple of steps, the tweaking, to find out if that's going to be enough or if I'm going to need to resort to step 3 and switch out a garment. If I'm going to need to switch out a garment, then I have to find out while I'm at home so that I can pack the correct garment. You could do the same thing like on Sunday night, planning all of your work outfits for the week, putting them on one by one, styling them all, and then just lining them up and knocking them out as you move through the week. And what a fun way to spend a Sunday night, I think. because I get all fired up about this stuff. In fact, I'm feeling fired up right now. This is making me want to go fuss and tweak and style some clothes. And I hope that it's making you feel the same. I hope that it's making you feel energized about this, excited, and also empowered to make some of these decisions and changes yourself when you're getting dressed. Thank you all so much for being here today and watching this video. I hope that you're doing well during this busy final month of the year. I really hope you're taking extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.